Hello, I'm John Paul. I'm here at Rimmer Brothers today to service this 4.4 Range Rover Petrol. I'm going to change the spark plugs first, so I need to remove the top engine cover. With a 5mm Allen key, they want all the 4 screws want turning 90 degrees so they can lift the cover off. It's just those 90-degree clips in there. Now we can see the top of the engine. We're going to remove the top spark plug covers, one each side. Just use a little screwdriver to lift up the 2 caps that go over the bolts. Then with a 10mm socket, undo the 2 retaining bolts. And then we can lift the plastic cover off and see the top of the spark plugs. With the 2 retaining bolts out of the way, we'll just have to lift the plastic cover up. It's a little bit more awkward on this one because it's got a gas conversion, so these parts wouldn't normally be here. Now we can see the top of the coil packs, so we need to unclip the wires, unbolt it with the 2 M6 bolts, and then we'll lift each coil pack out, keep them in order, and then we'll take the plugs out. Now to remove the wire from the coil pack, you just need to slide that metal clip up and then unplug the wire. Leave that to one side, and we'll get the little 10mm socket, undo the 2 retaining nuts, then we'll pull the coil pack off. With the 2 retaining nuts off, you just lift the coil out, twist it round, and now we can take the plugs out. Now with a 5/8 plug socket, you're best using a plug socket that's a decent quality one with a rubber insert, because these plugs are quite a way down the plug hole, so if you haven't got the plastic insert, it's harder to get the plug out. So put the socket on, crack it off, then you should be able to take it out with your finger tight. And then lift the plug out, stays in the socket because of the rubber insert. We've got the recommended plugs for this vehicle. You don't need to gap them because they are multi-prong platinum tip plugs. So pop it into your socket, down into the hole, do them finger tight to start with, and then just nip them up at the end. Okay, all the plugs are in now, torque down to 25 Newton meters, and we're now going to pop the coil packs back in. So just reverse what you did earlier, taking them out, put them back in, do all 4 of those. Don't forget to put the earth wires on number 3, and then tighten them all back up, and we can put the wires back on. You just have to make sure the 2 little lugs on the plug that goes on the coil pack fit into the metal bracket. As you're fitting it down, it slides down, and then you can push the clip in that holds the plug on. We're now going to put the plastic cover back on. So a little bit more awkward with this one with having the gas conversion on. Make sure you get all the wires in the right place. Then we'll put the 2 bolts back in it, and we'll do the same with the other bank to change them 4 plugs. Now I'm going to change the pollen filter, or cabin filter, whichever one to call it. 4 little lugs. So just hold the little flap, push your 4 lugs down, flip it up, slide the filter out, and we'll go and get the new one, pop it in. Just make sure that the airflow arrows are pointing in the right direction. New filter, arrows pointing in the right direction, slide it into its mount, make sure it's in nice and firm, push the lid back up, all 4 clips, that's that done. I'm now going to change the air filter. You need to remove the top filter housing, so we'll just undo these 2 clips, one each side of the airflow meter. We're actually going to remove the airflow meter completely, so we've got a bit more access when we're changing the filter. Unplug it, just prise that out of the air filter housing, and then remove the airflow meter like that. Then we've got a bit more room to get the air filter out. There's another pipe to take off at the top of the air filter housing. Now it's a bit difficult to get to, and you have to push the two little lugs in and then just pull it out the side. With the pipe removed out the side and the 4 clips removed out the air filter housing, we can lift up the housing, take out the element. And before we fit the new air filter element, we're just going to clean out all the debris from the bottom of the air filter box. Fit the new element in. Make sure you do it the right way around. Put the box top back on. 4 clips into place. Put the pipe on behind here, and then we're going to refit the airflow meter. I'm now going to drain the engine oil. So we've got a 17mm socket onto the sump plug, oil drainer ready. Put it on, give it a tap. Undo the sump plug and let the oil drain out. We've put the sump plug back in, tighten it up to 25 Newton meters, then we'll put the vehicle back on the ground ready to change the oil filter. It's a remote oil filter on this vehicle, so it's nice and easy to get to, straight in front of you there. You need a 36mm spanner or socket, crack it off, unscrew the cap, and the filter will come out with the cap. So take it out nice and carefully, have something to drop it into so you don't spill oil all over the place, and then we'll fit the new filter. With the oil filter out of the way, just going to change the seal on the cap. So pull that seal off, put it out of the way, refit the new seal, roll it over the threads, back into the little groove, just put a thin smear of oil on it, fit the new filter into the housing, clips in place, and screw it back together, and then tighten it down to 25 Newton meters. Right, I've put 8.5 litres of engine oil in the engine. I'm going to check it on the dipstick, put the cap back on, start the engine, check for leaks, recheck it on the dipstick, and then we're done. I'm going to change the brake fluid on the Range Rover today. We're going to pressurise the hydraulic system using a pressure bleeder, and then we're going to bleed the brakes. I'm going to connect the pressure bleeder now, so I remove the wire from the reservoir, take off the cap, screw on the cap of the pressure bleeder, and pump it up to about 20 psi. Ready to bleed the brakes now. The hydraulic system is pressurised. We've taken the wheel off. We've taken the cap off the bleed nipple. We've just got a pipe and a bottle just to put the fluid into, to save it going all over the floor. We always start off furthest from the master cylinder. So in this particular car, we're going to start off on the near side rear, then offside rear, near side front, offside front. We've put the pipe on the bleed nipple, hung the bottle so it's in a nice secure place, and we just crack off the bleed nipple. And the pressure that's in the system will pump the fluid into the bottle. This particular car holds about 1.1 litre of brake fluid, so realistically you want to be taking like 250 mils off each corner. Once we've been around all 4 calipers and bled each of the brakes, we'll then tighten everything up, go in the car, start the engine up, check the brake pedal still feels good, there's no leaks anywhere, then we'll replace the wheel and torque them up. I'm now going to change the fuel filter. It's located on the left hand rear of the car, just underneath this plastic plate in front of the rear wheel. 2 10mm spanner size bolts, take them out of the way, remove the cover, and then this fuel filter is just up there. It's held in 2 Phillips screws in a plastic housing, so undo the Phillips screws, we can remove the filter. There's 4 pipes to take off on this fuel filter. You will need some special pliers to take the pipes off. They've got plastic clips on it. They are a bit awkward and they do break very easily, so you will need the proper pliers. We've taken the 2 front pipes off so that we can pull the filter down out of its housing, and then using the pliers clamp it up and pull the next pipe off. There will be fuel in this as well, so just be careful with your eyes. Then the other little pipe is just a rubber one on, prise it off with a screwdriver. Then we've got the filter and we can replace it with the new one. We've got the new filter ready to go on. Pull the little protective caps off. Replace these two pipes first. There's the rubber one and the plastic pipes. These are just a push fit, so you just cramp hold, you'll feel them click into place, and then we'll just put it back in its housing, and I'm going to replace the two front pipes the same. Push on, clip in place. We've got petrol dripping down our arm, which is very nice. Clip, clip, clamp it back up into its housing, put the two little screws back in and replace the cap.